Hey, a great Wednesday evening. It is a kind of beautiful evening in the city of Brownsville, I guess, if you want to take it that way. I mean, the weather has been okay. And I'm surprised because one of the things that I expected as soon as I got back to the city of Brownsville after, spending the weekend in Puerto Vallarta, I expected it to be hot as hell. And it's been okay. But it's not the start of our major heat stroke months yet, but they're coming.
Mhm.
And while I was in Puerto Vallarta, I got a message back and forth with a friend of mine, Jaime Diaz, and uh, and I said like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I said, "Oh, I'm flying around the country." I go like, "Well, me too, but different country." How you doing, Jaime?
I'm good. I'm good. Hello, my name's Jaime Diaz. Yeah, no, I spent this weekend in a wedding in Cuernavaca.
Oh, you were in Mexico too.
Yeah. I spent a friend of mine from college ago was getting married, and it's one of these friends that I haven't seen since I graduated. So I figured, I have to go and reconnect with all my friends from my college days.
Oh, were you graduated from college?
Yeah, yeah.
Let me say one of the things, guys. I'm sure everyone here in Brownsville knows who Jaime Diaz is. But let me say, when Jaime Diaz and myself, we were running for school board on different seats, but we were running for school board at the same time, and it I think it tripped everyone out there, everyone out because everyone go like, since when can junior high students run for office? Because let me tell you, you had one of the best good looking signs, I've ever seen, man. Actually, I still try to go around and I actually found one. I said, like, I'm gonna steal that sign because it should be a classic, bro. Should be a classic. Andabas todo Fabio con tu long, long hair. And I'm going like, what the hell? Who the hell's running for BISD? It's Jaime Diaz. And I go like, Jaime Diaz. I said, I thought he was an attorney, but he looks too young to be attorney. But Jaime Diaz, his son is his father
Yeah.
is the attorney.
Mhm.
Great guy. I like your dad, and
Yeah.
I don't think he likes me, but I like.
No, I mean, my dad likes everybody. My
I
dad.
know. I'm just teasing. No, he's great. Again, I think we've crossword a couple of times.
Mhm.
I think I've had more conversations with other members of your family than with your dad.
Mhm.
But no, a great guy, a great public servant here in the city of Brownsville. He serves on some, I know, some boards or committees or something out
Mhm.
there, something.
Yeah,
Uh,
he's a municipal judge here. He's one
uh,
of I think there's 4 or 5 different ones that they alternate, and he's one of the.
he's also an associate municipal judge, isn't he, or something like that?
Yeah,
I said
yeah.
something like that. But yeah, great guy. But Jaime is a greater guy.
I appreciate that. No, yeah, it was funny. So when I said run for BISD, a friend of mine had suggested the idea, and I mean, I wasn't very on board with it because, I mean, I just never thought about running for office before, and it was during COVID, so I mean, nobody. I mean, I wasn't working. I showed up here after graduating college. I was here for a year, then COVID started, right? So kind of threw my life out of whack. And I remember that I stopped shaving my, my beard. Which, I mean, it's not much, but but I mean, I had like some facial hair, and I let my hair grow out long. And obviously, when I signed up for the election, I did shave my face, but I wanted to leave my hair long. And the reason I ended up cutting it eventually was just because people would see me on the street. They'd be like, "Hey, the hair, are you Jaime?" And I'd be an HEB, right? And they would ask me and want to talk about school board, and I'm like, I'm done with this. I got a haircut. My hair's been like this basically since I cut it after BISD, and yeah, it was uh it was divisive, my hairstyle, I think.
It was amazing. But let me tell you right now, if and look with all humility, if good looks won elections, then I would win all of them. And I'm not even joking, guys. I'm the most handsome candidate running for office currently, and the most handsome guy running for office that has Cameron County has ever seen. Jaime comes in a close second. And I was actually starting to get a little bit concerned because I'm going like, wait a minute, this guy is like, coming onto my territory. I'm the only one that's supposed to be the good looking guy around here. But no,
Don't
Jaime, let me
be
tell you,
thoughtful.
too handsome, bro. And I was a little bit pissed. I was a
It,
little
wo-
bit pissed for a while. I confess my sins.
it works against Erasmo. It works against us.
My dick.
That's yeah. This guy's too handsome. I can't vote for him. That's
No, it's there, but no, it's there. I'm very proud. One of the conversations that we had, and again, I think you and I had a great conversation. I appreciated that you had ran, and even afterwards, we met up at a restaurant, and I think were your grandparents there,
yeah.
and had a conversation with them, and I said, no, man, this community needs us to keep on fighting, and they agreed with me,
Mhm.
and a great conversation with them. So I want you to tell them, hey, hi. I haven't forgotten. Great conversation. And I'm very proud that currently you are running for railroad commissioner in the state of Texas.
Mhm. I am with the Libertarian Party. So, for the people that don't know, the Road Commission it's a regulatory body that oversees oil and gas pipelines within the state of Texas, and also mining. So that's just generally what the Road Commission does.
But again, one of you'd mentioned running for a school board, and you're going like, this is just not my thing.
Mhm.
Why the decision to jump all the way from a local position,
Mhm.
into a statewide position? I mean, you're everywhere, bro. I mean, I've seen a lot of the pictures out there. You're mingling with la crema y nata de todo Texas all over. Because that's what your campaign entails. Why the jump? To statewide office.
So at least when COVID started, I got really into Bitcoin. So at least the Bitcoin rabbit hole, what that gets you into is the whole idea of like what is money, right? And then kind of like adjacent to that is a lot of Austrian economics, and and also during the BIZ election, a big issue was school choice, right? So the idea of school choice is that if you don't like BISD, you could get a voucher and then use that voucher to take your kids elsewhere, right? Right now, it's only available for charter schools, right? So you could take your kids as opposed to BISD, you could take them to IDEA, you could take them to Triumph, to any one of these charter schools.
Right.
But I mean, I thought that was a good idea, just because at least when I was running for BISD, I thought it was a good idea because, I mean, if you don't like BISD, you should have another option, right? And that's the only way you could keep BISD accountable to do their job, right? That kids have it, or that parents have the option to go elsewhere. So at least all this kind of happened, and it turned me into kind of like an independent libertarian.
Mhm.
So very in favor of people having choice, very against government coercion, right? And I started giving money to the Libertarian Party. $25 every 6 months. Not a whole lot. I'm 26 years old, so it's not like I have a whole lot to give. But
You're a big
yeah,
spender.
and huh?
You're a big spender.
Big spender. Yeah, the $25 donations are are heavy, you know. but um, but I started talking to the Libertarian Party, and they actually suggested that I run for this. They suggested, because I studied engineering in college, and and initially I was kind of reluctant to do it, just because, I mean, it is a big job, and especially when you're running as a third party, it's difficult because you don't have the actual network that the more established parties have, right? So, for example, if I go to Houston, it's more me calling the chair over there in Harris County and getting a group together of 10, 12 people. But if you're running a Republican or Democrat, I mean, you have these huge fundraiser events. But yeah, I mean, I think it's just important that we have a nuanced discussion. And I mean, in all, okay, what is a Libertarian Party?
Well, before you go into the question, let me say I'm very proud, because one of the things that I've consistently been screaming about for many years now is
Mhm.
how for the longest time we were basically a one party community.
Yeah.
All we had down here was Democrats. That's it.
Mhm.
The Republican Party was small, insignificant, and they kept on beating up on each other, for far too long, that they never did a huge dent in a lot of local office. And I know people are going to say, well, Cascos and Judge
Mhm.
Cascos, and again, no disrespect to Judge Cascos, but one of the things that I've been screaming for years is we need more than a one party system down here. We need some choice. And I'm very, very proud that Morgan Graham Cisneros with the Republican Party,
Mhm.
bringing the party together, and let me tell you, that's not easy because you got some crazy nuts
Oh
in there.
no.
Let me tell you, they got some, and I'm in there. I'm not one of those crazy nuts, but there are some crazy nuts in there, guys. Let me tell you, I've called them out because they're nuts. And again, not embarrassed, not afraid to say they're nuts, but I'm glad that we have, now a strong Republican Party in this area.
Mhm.
And I'm going to say thanks to Trump, but I don't think that two parties is enough. I want
Yeah.
the Libertarian Party down here.
Mhm.
I want individuals to have a choice, have options, because I'm going to think that a lot of the Democrats would probably be willing to go into the Libertarian Party before going into the Republican Party because a lot of their values. Some of the
Mhm.
and again, I want to mention some, and you could correct me, or you could add on. But libertarians believe in a smaller government.
Mhm.
You have more control over your money. You know,
Mhm.
lower taxes, as the more into the constitutional list, but
Mhm. Yeah.
still swaying a little bit in regards to to a lot of the pro-choice
Mhm.
and different other things. What's your take on it?
Yeah. So, no, first, I'm happy that you said that about just acknowledging the fact that you can't judge a party by its most fringe of members because yeah, I mean, in every single party there's members that I mean I don't agree with everything in the Libertarian Party, but
Nuts.
at least what libertarianism is to me, it's the whole idea that at least like let's say hypothetically, Erasmo, I like dogs, right? And I'm like, hey, Erasmo, we have to give $10 to the dog shelter. I gave my $10. I want you to give your $10. You're like, hey, Amy, you know what? I've got to pay my bills. I've got X, Y, and Z. I love dogs, but I can't afford to give $10 right now. So I can't force you to give $10. But what I can do is I can lobby a couple of people in office to pass some kind of legislation that then forces you via threat of imprisonment or whatever to give those $10. So I mean, as libertarians, what we believe in is the fact that human interaction should be led through cooperation as opposed through government coercion. So a lot of people will say like, oh, I mean, if you're a libertarian, you're against socialism. It's like, no. I mean, if you're a libertarian, you're not against socialism. If you want to be a socialist, you could be a socialist. What I'm against is the idea that if a 51% of America wants to do something, and they get the right people into office, then they could coerce other 49% to do stuff that they don't want to do. I mean, that's not the role of the government. The role of the government should be to protect the people and their rights, and that's it. It's not to be, you know, uh, implementing the might of the 51%, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, some people disagree. Some people think that, as long as some action is brought about using a democratic process, then it's all right for the government to do. But I really don't agree with that. I think that's a messed up. There's an example, right, that says like, well, if we take a vote to eh, to let's say murder this group of fringe people, right? And let's say they're less than 50% of the population, right? Then as long as you do it through a democratic process using that same logic, that'd be all right. And it's not. And a lot of people don't understand that the role of the government isn't to coerce a minority of people. It's to protect our rights, and that's that.
100%. And that's what actually one of the arguments, well, not arguments, one of the, back and forth dialogue that I had with a couple of candidates running for state senator, were like, you're out there not to educate folks, you're out there to represent folks. Let me say,
Mm.
Jaime, I did want to tell you on live in front of everyone, I'm a little bit pissed off with you though. And no, I'm not even
All
joking,
right.
because hey, I've been always faithful to you, bro. I still have my Jaime Diaz shirt. I still have it. And let me tell you, I usually when I travel, I take T-shirts and I throw them away. Yours, I've kept, bro. Not even joking. Here it is. I've kept my Jaime Diaz shirt. You know why I'm pissed off? I haven't gotten my Jaime Diaz railroad commissioner shirt yet.
Look, I have not made them yet. I will make them. I will make them. I'm not sure. Next week, I'll stop by and take you a sign for a yard sign for the railroad commission.
And remember, I want one of the old Jaime Diaz signs and one of the new Jaime Diaz signs.
Okay. I think I could find some. I think that they're in a closet somewhere.
Guys, he's already made a promise, non live. So we're gonna hold him to those promises.
Yeah, this is
Sam,
life. Yeah.
Sam, I appreciate you combed your hair this evening.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hey Sam, it's nice meeting you. I don't think we've ever met.
Sam can't
Oh.
speak.
Okay.
He is sign language. What the hell's the matter with your volume, bro? Mendigo cricket phone, no vale. That's what happens when you have 5 kids, Jaime. You can't afford anything else but damn cricket. Let me tell you, Jaime, don't get married and don't have 1,000 kids, bro. You probably got a line of people out there wanting to marry you, bro. Do not do it. Do not be like Sam. We still can't hear you, Sam.
I love that. That's how you end up with cricket. That's
Being the cricket.
that's
I still
awesome.
can't hear you, Sam. Word is that Dolores Center already emailed the high school principals for of her move, demotion. What is she can try to go to Dallas now? Oops, and she can go cheat. Well, this is one of the things I think that we learned today, and we'll let you chime in on it, Jaime, since you did run for board before. Let me say one of the things that we did chime in. We've been screaming for years now. And look, one of the things that I think that a lot of people don't realize is that when we are actually out there, really, really screaming and fighting and demanding stuff, slowly people are going to take heed and and listen. One of the things that we had discussed yesterday, and I've been screaming for years now, is that how BISD is top heavy.
Test.
Mhm.
Huh?
That's good. I can hear you.
Finally. Cricket. Oh yes, how BISD is top heavy.
Why'd you put me? I'm over here testing everything in the background, and you put me in the damn thing. Can you hear me or not?
Yeah,
Yeah, we can hear you.
So BISD is all that top heavy and stuff.
Mm,
Now we can't hear you.
no, not anymore.
Should I put you back on the bottom?
It worked on the bottom.
Sam tends to be a bottom.
Took me a second.
Just because you're young and handsome. I mean, just young. But let me say, guys, we've been screaming about that it being too top heavy. When it becomes too top heavy, ultimately what they plan to do is start cutting from the bottom. And we're going like, guys, you got to cut from the top. It's going to hurt your compadres, but you're going to have to weed out a lot of people on the top. So all of a sudden today, we learned that at least 2 have been confirmed. AAs have been sent back to principal jobs, and that is it's a pretty big achievement. With that said, I also got word that there might be 2 more AAs, coming on down back to becoming principals. And again, those are first good steps. So to the BISD board, if that is actually the case, more power to you guys. Great job, because that's exactly what we needed. So I'm not going to bitch about it. I'm not going to bitch about it because it's exactly what this community needed. We needed to weed out, to lessen the herd up at the top, and think less about lessening the herd down on the bottom. Right, Sam?
Yes.
Finally.
Now can you hear me?
Yeah. So I was.
No
So
wonder you guys were listening to my jokes.
Oh yeah, we were laughing, but not laughing at your jokes. We're laughing at your hair and your cricket phone.
Hey,
No te peinaste, bro?
it's just it's one of those free days, you don't want to bother with
Sam,
anything.
every day is a free day for you. But I mean, isn't it trippy, Sam, that we were just talking about this, and all of a sudden, 2 confirmed. There might be 4. So if the other 2,
Hey, so in any case, man, you can keep on making the calls from the show. That way, it happens tomorrow.
hey, that's why I'm the most handsome individual running
And
for office.
it has happened like that quite often, man. Like we'll make some calls or you post some stuff, and the following day it gets fixed.
Jaime, Erasmo gets stuff done, Jaime. I don't know if you knew this. Not even joking. Besides being
A quick question: who you're running against? Is it several people?
So for
Six.
me, it's the incumbent who's Wayne Christian, the Democrat who's Luke Warford, and then the Green Party candidate who's Hunter Crow. So it's me and three others. Yeah, no, but I love what you like. I'm not too familiar with the topic that in hand right now in regards to Dora Salceda, but yeah, I mean it's nice pair, like for example compared to Apple, right? Let's say Apple's doing I don't know, doing a bad job selling iPhones, right? And all the while they're cutting staff. Or Amazon's cutting staff, but they're becoming more and more top heavy, right? Or they're giving Bezos I don't know a raise, right? Like I think that leadership of a company, I mean they through their big salaries, they also take a lot of risk, right? Or they're the ones that basically um, they take responsibility for when things aren't working. That's kind of what I mean. And I don't know. I feel like in a lot of government departments, you don't see that. The people in the top never take accountability. It's always the people in the bottom that get fired first or get let go. It's their fault. It's never the people on top. And that's not a good way to lead a company or a school board. Which I mean, I'm saying again, I have no idea about this issue, so I might be speaking out of turn. But I do think that I mean, as administrators, you should take accountability for what's going on.
And I think it goes back to what I was saying in the morning. It should be run kind of like in a business, and that's what Trump had brought into the politic world, because everybody was just spending money like crazy, and he was like, "No, let's start cutting here and there as far as spending to be more fiscal responsible."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's what goes back to this as far as administrators.
Mm-hmm.
Like not like cutting in the bottom, you're hurting like the people who are actually holding up the whole structure. Yeah. And not really like cutting where you really need to.
Mm-hmm.
Jaime, congratulations on your win the other night. And yes, congratulations. You received a grant from BCIC in regards to entrepreneurship. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, again, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I won't hate you that much, just a little bit. But one of the things is that you're making tires into mush.
Yes. No, and thank you, Wayne, for bringing it up. Yeah, I know William super well. I was part of the Space Coders program for a little bit.
William's my nephew.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Okay, I had no idea. Yeah, I mean, he's a great guy. Yeah,
he is. So you didn't think he was my nephew because he was a great guy?
No.
Exactly.
Congrats.
There's no way they can be related to each other.
I always tell him, because I see he has he set up some Olympic rings in his backyard. I always tell him that whenever I see him, I'm like, I want to do the same thing,
William's amazing. But no, congratulations, man. It's great success and great work, man. One of the things that I've always said about Jaime Diaz is that I can appreciate, that he's always on the move, and I think it's going to bide well. And one of the things that my compadre Wayne is out there saying is that it's true. With individuals like Jaime Diaz and William Brown, my nephew, he gets all his smarts not from his father, but from his favorite uncle. Let me tell you, we have hope for our community. And at the end of the day, that's the only thing that we want. We want to stop developing the tacuache mentality here. You know the tacuache mentality, right? Que te valga, que no sé qué, que el 956, y que las tóxicas y los tóxicos. Let's get out of that crap, man. And let's start investing in our community. Let's start taking ownership of a lot of the work that needs to be done in this community, because ultimately this is Jaime's community, it's William Brown's community, and it's all of our communities.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I try to talk about that in my campaign, the fact that, there's so much misdirected energy amongst each other, getting mad at for example, the people that vote Democrat, the people that vote Republican, the people that vote Libertarian. And it's like, why are you mad at each other? Like, if anything, let's be mad at people that we voted into office that aren't getting the job done. I mean, if you have in any job, if you tell your employer, hey, I want to get this report done, but the person over there, I don't like them, so I can't do it. I mean, that's not a valid excuse. But when our politicians come down, they say, hey, you know what, we're trying to pass X, Y, or Z bill that you all want, but we can't because we can't work with that other guy. I mean, your job, if you're a politician, is to work with the other side, find a shred of common ground, whatever that is, whether you both agree that the sky's blue or anything, and then work from there, right? But this whole thing of digging our heels, and it's getting us nowhere. And it's not like, when you watch sports that it's really, this tribalist mentality of like, for example, I'm a cowboy versus, I don't know, somebody who might be a Bengal tiger. I don't really even watch sports, but that one team wins and the other
Packers.
loses.
Yeah.
Packers, yeah, Packers, and the Celtics. But
It's a Dallas. It's the Dallas
I
Red
said Packers because of what happened down south most with the girl with the Mustang que le robaron el phone.
Le robaron el phone. Los menos tacuaches. Remember that? That actually made me. Well, one of
Don't tell
the
me you were too young for that.
Jaime was still at St. Joe. That was one of the things that actually it started to put me on the map. Actually, it was me calling that guy out who stole it. Literally just walked in the chick's car and stole the damn phone, and then it was like, "Mendigo Erasmo." Like, as for being the least recognized political party, what success has the Libertarian Party has had in state elections?
So, in regards to who's our highest ranking officer historically, it's been Justin Amash. He was a congressperson, but to be frank, not a whole lot.
No.
I think 6 years ago we had somebody running for road commission that pulled at 5%, which is a big deal for us because if you pull out 5%, you guarantee another 10 years of ballot access statewide. I think as libertarians, we're 4 years from that expiring, at which point we would have to get a bunch of people to sign a paper, right, to re-grant us that ballot access. But yeah, no, I'm sorry. Just going back to my last point, like, yeah, I mean, as Americans, either we all win or, we all lose in the long run. So it's important to
I think you would have
recognize
to do like you would have to show something completely extreme to catch people's attention. Because once you tell them like which party you're in, they're gonna be like, "Oh no, it's either Democrat or Republican," and you would have to do something extreme to catch their attention. But that's just my point of view.
One of the things that I make mention, one of the reasons that a lot of folk don't understand is like people go like, Erasmo, you lost a race. And we're like, yeah, but I stood my ground. I shared my beliefs. I called them out on their crap. And you know Erasmo Castro, I think we were at a couple of forums together. I speak my mind, and I call them out on their bull crap. And again, it gives the community a platform because I don't care what anybody else out there thinks. I'm going to guarantee you that at least 80%, 90% of the people in Brownsville think the same way as Erasmo. Part of the problem is that they don't go out and vote because they're still in that tacuache mentality.
Yeah.
You know who ran as libertarian, I believe? David Smith.
Yeah. Well, David Smith, he's one of the figureheads of the party right now. I think he might end up running for president. He was in the national convention.
David Smith? Sam?
Yeah.
My David Smith? Wow.
Yeah, he's libertarian. Well, that's what he put last time he was running for office. I think he was running for like some sort of position in the city. Not Bronzeville City, but like I know last time
Laguna Vista or something?
Huh?
I think it is Laguna Vista, no?
Yeah. He was running for, I guess, a councilman or whatever they call him over there. And he was running as libertarian. That's one thing that kept in mind.
David Smith is amazing.
No, I'm sorry. I was thinking of Dave Smith actually, but who's David Smith?
David Smith is actually
one of the smartest guys ever.
One of the smartest guys in this area. He actually is from Laguna Vista, and you should contact him, David Smith. He's on social media, I'm sure. He is a libertarian, and let me tell you, great guy too.
Yeah,
very bright.
In general, I like to think that libertarians are smart.
Well, but, there are some exceptions.
But yeah. I mean, there are some, but yeah. I mean, in libertarian government, I mean, just do whatever you want. I mean, just don't hurt people. Don't, because I mean, it makes sense, right? As the government gets bigger and bigger. For example, you're an entrepreneur, right?
It does make kind of sense because what you're trying to do is like find a common ground between Republicans and Democrats, and you're kind of like in the middle ground between them, and be like, okay, this is the better of both parties, and that's what you're trying to prove. But some people are still with the old-fashioned mentality of like, I'm gonna stick to this party and that's it, no matter who runs. Even though their background history might be as horrible as can be, but some people just stick to it. But it's good that you start pointing out your I guess your bullet points, your point of views, and all that stuff. That way they know like where you're coming from.
Yeah. No, and the thing, it makes sense because like as the government becomes bigger and bigger. For example, you have a business, right? You have to convince people to shop in your business, providing a service of value, right, at a good price. Things as the government becomes bigger, you as a company figure that I don't have to cater to people anymore. If I could get my buddy in office to give me some kind of subsidy, some mandate, some tax abatement that can help me out personally, right? So then I can leverage the government using political donations, which I mean to some extent they are. I think it's kind of a form of bribery to then help out my business and to basically rig the market in favor of me, right? So that's why people get mad because I mean everybody just wants a chance. Lots of people can't get a chance because the government is so involved in the markets, right? And unless the government says that you are the winner in this sector, then you're not going to be able to compete. And I think that's why people are upset because I mean, as long as people feel like they have a fair shot, I mean, people are going to keep trying and they're going to get up, and that machismo mentality is going to go away.
Yeah.
But the reason that even exists is just because people don't think that it matters because they don't think they have control in where their life takes them.
100%. BISD has 10% more administrative staff than any other school district in Texas. So that takes away from hiring more teachers. Ridiculous that the assistant has an assistant who has another assistant. That is 100% correct. And then part of the problem is Noble Headhunter was that, they were out there stating that they were going to get rid of a lot of the APs, that directly have contact with our students. That's what became really, really unfortunate. It was just a sad situation. Good evening. Good evening. What did he win? Entrepreneurship like grant from
Yeah.
BCIC. I think it was $25,000, right?
Yeah, it's 25. That we were really surprised. We did it. So it's a startup Texas, and it's a BCIC that does it in partnership with UTRGV Entrepreneurship.
So, is there any chance that I might be getting some of that $25,000?
So
There's a 0.01% chance.
Yeah, I mean, there's a non-zero chance. I mean, it's
Hey,
there's a non-zero chance of everything happening, right?
It was worth a try. But I am getting my signs.
So there is a chance.
There is a chance. But I am getting my signs and I am getting my shirt, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, you are.
That's all I want. I want them all signed.
Also, I mean, I can. It actually came out in the newspaper. It's the first time I make an appearance. It was you came on the front page of the newspaper yesterday.
And it's not easy being the second most handsome politician running here locally.
That's how they referenced me in the article. They didn't put my name.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's
the second most handsome politician.
Yeah. Good evening to Erasmo. Good evening. Good evening. I don't get mentioned at all here. Good evening, Arley. Love you, Papa. Good evening. Good evening, Chango Marango. Great job, Jaime Diaz. Run the race. El Royal.
Thank you, Royal.
Royal's nuts. Wasn't Jill Stein who ran in the 2016 presidential race a libertarian? I think she was wasn't she a Green Party, Jill Stein?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was a Green Party, and I love it because I always tell my friends, that are very pro-Hillary, that everybody was like hashtag I'm with her. It's like, where was that hashtag I'm with her support when it came to Jill Stein or when it came to Joe Jorgensen? With Joe Jorgensen, she was a presidential candidate for us the last time around. It didn't exist. I mean, get out of here. Which I find that a lot with at least my race, right? There's a lot of interest groups that want to help Latinos get into office, right? And I mean, I understand how it works. I understand that they're not looking for, Jaime Diaz kind of Latino. They're looking for Democrat type of Latino. But I mean, I just think it's really funny how a lot of this tokenism in regards to minority groups. I mean, people like it, and as so far as it helps them push their own agenda, right? But in regards to just helping Latinos for helping Latinos' sake, I mean, that does not exist.
It's crazy how they gotta get somebody who fits the criteria, the profile.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's to help them. It's not to
Instead of
help
going
you.
based on what they're saying. Like,
Tell me what part of town you're from, and I'll tell you if you're for the people. I'm from Southmost.
but where do you live?
I live in my parents' basement.
That's still kind of Southmost-ish.
Hey, you can take the kid out of Southmost. You can't take the Southmost out of the kid. I say, hey, one of the things that when Roman was running, and he hates when I mention this story. When Roman was running, he was running for a District 1 commissioner in the city of Brownsville. And they had this event there where Mike has a Más Dinero business. They had this event around that area, and they were grilling hot dogs and stuff and carne asado. But what happens is that he goes out there and gives a speech. It's the first time I ever heard the kid speak. No, so he goes out there. He goes like, "Well, I'm a stay-at-home dad, and my wife works for Border Patrol, and breadwinner in the home, stuff like that." And I'm going like, so I go and I talk to him afterwards. I go like, Roman, you're not winning the people from Southmost over by saying you're a house husband. You got to go tell them, para que vean, yo mando a la vieja a trabajar y yo me quedo rascándome hasta que sacas todo el día. That's the way it should be done, right? That's how you're
Yo soy el
going
de los pantalones, pero ella me los escoge.
That is what's going to get you votes down Southmost, bro. Jaime, I think that you're more on the St. Joe side of.
I live in Palo Verde.
Oh no, you're on the Paredes.
Yeah,
Side.
no,
Oh,
Paredes.
no, you're Raza.
I'm Raza. I'm about it.
You're just
He's like, that kind of hurts.
you're like a
No,
couple of, you're like a couple of
I'm
steps
Raza.
on top of a tacuache. No, Palo Verde.
No, this guy's from
No,
the
this is
meme.
Palo Verde anymore.
Hold on. This guy's from the memes, los que ponen los de la Porter cuando se junta alguien de la Porter con alguien con the Saint Joe. You know the güerito, no tan morenito.
Jaime Díaz, cuando se junta Jaime Díaz con los de St. Joe. That's a good one, Sam. I wish I would have. I thought of it first, but Sam meant. So, who are the AAs being moved, and what principles being moved? I don't think. I think actually, I don't know if some of the principals were sent back down to be AAs. The two AAs that have so far been moved are Dora Sauceda and Sandra Lopez. And look, and I'm going to say this: it's very unfortunate because there's no way in hell that Rose Longoria is better than Dora Sauceda. There's no way in hell. Absolutely. Rose Longoria just recently got moved up. Again, doesn't know what the hell right from left is, and again, wrong move. They should have moved Rose Longoria down back to principal where she should have stayed. But again, not telling them what to do. Sort of, I am, but that's exactly what needs to be done. And the other two that are in jeopardy, actually, right now, they're seeing that maybe Rose Longoria and what's her name? Esta, Alma Rubio is also going to get moved down. And let me tell you, I'm just surprised that Alma Rubio and hasn't been moved down because they've been targeting her for years. Surprised that she hasn't been brought down. Again, fighter. So, what type of businesses are planning to bring, or what is your business about, Ivan?
Oh, me? So our idea is to get scrap tires and then mechanically break them down into a crumb rubber. So that's any granule size that's less than 3/8 of an inch. And then you could use, you can press it further down. But the idea is that you can mix it as part of your asphalt binder. You can make gym flooring. You can make
He said
tracks.
Sorry to interrupt, bro. Wasn't that there a business like that in Harlingen where they were recycling rubbers and they're trying to make it into something else?
Yeah, those are different type of rubbers, Sam.
Yeah.
No, they were actually picking up tires.
Yeah.
They would get like truckloads of tires and
No le mates el negocio a pobre. No le mates el negocio a Jaime.
No. They're doing something called pyrolysis. So what they were doing is they would get tires and put them into this, I guess, chamber, suck out the oxygen, and then heat them up. So since they get heat up in a vacuum, they don't ignite. And you're able to extract something called carbon black out of them. And then that carbon black can be used to make more tires. The thing is that it's hard to, it's expensive, and it's really hard to do cost effectively. And also it's a lot of permitting and TCQ stuff. From my understanding, they didn't have the proper TCQ permits when they started. So the TCQ, they could charge you, which the TCQ is the Texas Environmental Quality Commission.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of my fears, to say acronyms aloud.
No, I think you're right.
Yeah, it's a Texas Environmental Quality Commission. So yeah, I think they could charge anywhere between $2,000 to $5,000 for being non-compliant per day. If one of these facilities. So, I mean, they just got fined, I think, out of existence. And then there was a fire. for my
So you're just pretty
understanding.
much gonna be breaking down tires until like little recyclable
Well, let, let-
sites.
let me
Yeah.
ask you. Since you're a big proponent of Bitcoin, right?
Mhm.
Why didn't you request that they give you the $25,000 in Bitcoin?
That was my first question. I'm like, I use this to buy Bitcoin because I mean, if I put into I put into Bitcoin, I could have $100,000, right? And no, but yeah, I mean, I think Bitcoin's great. I think that Bitcoin's the people's money. You know, if you fix the money, you fix the world. Um,
What
Didn't
about
it crash? Like, isn't
Bitcoin,
it? Yeah, isn't it going down?
yeah.
what
I
about
mean,
Dogecoin?
no, I mean, do not.
Crypto,
I mean, I'm not a financial
Which
advisor,
one?
first
The
of all,
Dogecoin?
so Dogecoin, yeah.
Dogecoin.
Yeah, that one's horrible.
And
Hey, Happy Musk is not going to be pleased.
they're suing him about the about
So much for reaching $1.
pumping it. Yeah. Mm.
Plazas for everyone. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but unless what is the business building built where AK Sports
Ojos
Bar used?
locos.
Oh, is that Ojos Locos? It was right.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's
We
a
already
non.
answered that question 3 times, and I personally answered it 3 times.
Yeah, I still haven't gotten it because actually somebody asked me the other day, "Oye, Erasmo, ¿qué están haciendo?" I'm like, I have no idea. I said, "No dijo Sam algo." I said, "Why? I don't listen what the hell that guy says." Not with his microphone.
Ahí están hiring ya.
I should go apply. Tengo una
También
pregunta porque,
estileros.
¿eh?
También
Yeah,
el zapatito están ocupando.
I don't know if you saw the sign, Jaime, but they're hiring at Estileros for all positions.
Oh, they are. Well, I don't know.
Jaime, you for a second there, you almost became the
No.
most handsome
You.
candidate for a second. Tengo una pregunta porque dice ahí, hay tanto coronavirus ahora, no sé qué dice, nada, yo tengo coronavirus y mi familia también y mis hermanos y mi papá, a lo mejor usted se los pegó, y muchos conocidos que están pasando, no entiendo el gobierno aclarando, no quiero cheque, I think you want to check, pero no sé, oye, el número de enfermos, buenas noches, hola, Verónica hermosa, ¿cómo estás, Verónica? Déjame decir, una de las cosas las cuales Verónica está mencionando que sí, muy cierto es el incremento. Cada quien tiene que tener cuidado. Hemos estado anunciando cómo en los diferentes asilos de viejitos están muchos casos volviendo a aparecer. Es una responsabilidad personal. Cada quien es responsable de cuidarse a sí mismo. Erasmo Castro viaja por todo el mendigo mundo. Erasmo Castro nunca le va a pegar coronavirus, porque yo me mantengo aislado, solo, y separado, y nadie me quiere. No, Verónica, mucha salud para usted y su familia, que mejoren muy pronto. Bendiciones, saludos a toda mi familia.
Pero en realidad lo que pasa es que cuando llega el coronavirus, you blow it away.
Yeah. Did you see that, Jaime?
No, I did not.
No, you're joking with me. You didn't see that?
What is that?
Crazy religious nut.
I saw that. Yeah.
Copeland. They go, we're gonna blow that COVID away. Blow. And you go like, you crazy nut. I don't know.
He's on the Jets, right? He's one that has the 3 planes.
The guy's a billionaire. You know, and I don't know if you knew this, Jaime, but Erasmo Castro is the greatest pastor in Texas and north of Tamaulipas.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're very humble, Erasmo. You don't fly around in a jet plane.
That's true.
I mean, I can respect that.
You ride the scooter.
Yeah,
I do my scooter. Have you seen me on my scooter?
I have. No, well, I seen something in the park the other day. I think your wheel.
Yeah, people love me on my scooter. Let me tell you, whenever you want to go block walking on a scooter, I've got 3 scooters.
So it means, I mean, Sam, you could come as well. I mean, I think we have.
I'll follow you on the tuk-tuk.
Tuk-tuk. I also have a tuk-tuk. You know that, right? I have a tuk-tuk.
No,
you know what that is?
Tuk-tuk. No, what is that?
It's like one of those little bikes with the little seats in the back.
Well,
like those Filipino ones.
You've never seen a tuk-tuk, bro? They're
Is that what they're called? A tuk tuk?
tuk tuk. Yeah,
Because
officially.
at the end of the ride, you're gonna tuck tuck.
You could Google it and tuk tuk will come out. Just don't add anything else on there because something else will come out. La tuk tuk. But no, tuk tuk is an amazing vehicle. One of the things that I don't know if you knew this about Erasmo Castro, Jaime, besides being humble, is Erasmo Castro is a trendsetter here in the city of Brownsville.
Mm.
Now I'm seeing a lot more people out there, on scooters here in Brownsville. And again, I was the first. I'm a trendsetter, bro. But I do it because besides being a trendsetter, I'm a tree hugger, and
Mhm.
I believe in, less carbon footprint out there.
Mhm.
But let's go back into railroad commissioner. How does railroad commissioner deal with, the tree huggers out there like Sam and me?
With the tree, so I mean, we're taking a nuanced stance in regards to the issue of oil and gas. It's one thing that I think that neither the left or the right does too well. I think that in general, the current incumbent, I mean, his administration, or not, it's three commissioners, but they've been very negligent in regards to the environment and environmental issues. So I mean, their mentality is very much, let the oil companies do whatever they want, and we'll think of the environment second. And then on the other side, you've got the Democrat guy who is very in favor of renewables, which I mean, I can see the need for. However, I think that if you actually care about the environment, we should talk about nuclear, not wind and solar panels, because either way, if you have a solar panel, solar array, and a wind farm, you still need a gas turbine in the scenario that the wind's not blowing and the sun's not shining. So you still need a gas turbine to backstop that, right? In case the power is not there. So if you actually care about the environment, I think we should talk more about nuclear, the expansion of our nuclear capacity in Texas. But yeah, I mean, we need fossil fuels. We need fossil fuels to create cement.
Preach.
We need fossil fuels to make steel. We need fossil fuels to make plastic. There's no way we could get rid of fossil fuels tomorrow,
No.
right?
Yeah, I think what they're planning on doing is like about 70% fossil fuels, and the rest with renewable, and that's as far as they can get.
Mhm.
As far as like there's no way they could do 100% renewable or
Yeah, no,
100% fossil
eh,
fuels or nuclear, because with nuclear you're still gonna get nuclear waste, which there's no way you can recycle that.
no, but you are right about that, because in general, whenever grids have more than 25% renewable, it's renewable. All that means it's wind, solar, so it's intermittent power, right? It's not power
Yeah.
like for
It's
example,
not a
if you turn on,
constant.
yeah, exactly, it's not flat energy output. So the thing is that in general, whenever you have more than 25% of your grid power coming from renewables, you have lots of problems with that grid, because in the scenario that they're not there, then you have to turn on gas turbines to supplement that lost 25% of your power, right? So at least one thing that people don't understand, which I think is important to just mention, is that with energy, you always need the supply and the demand to match up, right? So there's too much supply and not enough demand, well, that could short circuit your entire grid, and vice versa, right? If there's too much demand but not enough supply, that's kind of why they do the forced blackouts, like we saw in Winter Storm Uri, right? That there's so much demand but there's not enough supply. So if the grid stayed like that, then it would short circuit.
Yeah, because
So
I remember the rolling blackouts, but it happened only in certain people's neighborhoods and not in all the neighborhoods, which
yeah,
all where all the officials were living. They had like no blackouts
Not like
whatsoever.
Palo Verde, they didn't get any black, bro.
I'm
no,
pretty sure they didn't.
in Palo Verde we lose power once a week. I have no idea. I have no idea who lives here, but PUB has it out for us, because we lose power once a week, and we lose at least
Se
internet,
metieron con
like
la wife
See,
for
I
once
think
a week. Se metieron con la wife.
I think
somebody
I think
somebody did.
they're doing it to you because y'all live close to me. ¿Qué te pasa, Erasmo? What are your thoughts on this? Cameron County considers abandoning roads for SpaceX. Let me say, guys, I don't know why it's surprising anyone out there. The truth of the matter is, and this is my take, the truth of the matter is, we have no one to represent us on Cameron County. Cameron County, no one. They kiss Elon Musk's rear end, major
Everywhere.
everywhere, and it's like, oh, he's got a speedo papa, and I was like, ah. But it's part. The truth is that the Taquache's fault. It's the Taquache's fault because as long as you don't go out there and vote, as long as you don't go fight, as long as you don't go speak on matters, nothing's ever going to change. They're going to do whatever the hell they want to do. They're never going to get your input. You're not important to them. because you don't go out and vote. You have to come out and vote. You have to go out there and let them know they could hell no. We want to keep our beach that we never actually visit, but it's our beach.
Yeah, but it's
It's
crazy
our
how only
constitutional right. It's our constitutional right to have access to our beach.
Yeah, but what part of the issue is, Jaime, is that for years. I mean, honestly, when's the last time you went to Boca Chica Beach?
Me? Oh my god, I don't know. It's been like 3 years, I think.
Well, I'm surprised
But
because
but but, but I don't like sand, so
since the senior skip day.
I can't. Yeah, senior. Yeah.
se fue a Cancún el vato. Oye,
Ay,
no, I haven't been to Boca Chica Beach since I was like 16 or something. That was like
mhm,
12 years ago. But we just don't go out there as much. And look, I don't want to destroy the beach. I want to preserve the beach, but I want Elon here. You know,
mhm,
I think what we need to have is elected officials that are going to ask for an equal seat at the table, because Elon has this big, huge table out there. The guy's going to become the first trillionaire ever. Big, huge big, huge table out there. All we want is a seat at the table, and we want our elected officials to truly represent the people of Cameron County to the point whereas hey, you want some stuff from us? That's fine. Don't just leave a couple of bucks on the dresser, baby. You know, give us our fair share. You know, give it to us all.
mhm.
Photo, keep the change.
Yeah.
Y luego me deja a couple of bucks on the dresser y luego quiere cambio, like my dentist. Cryptocurrency is the biggest legal Ponzi scheme out there.
I mean, cryptocurrency. I mean, I'm not a big crypto. I'm a big Bitcoin guy. But cryptocurrency, yeah. I mean, I think in general, stay away.
Yo los quiero bastante, Verónica, ustedes saben. El vato es de palo verde. He don't know the feeling of taking a crap while holding a candle in 100-degree heat. Let me tell you, I've been there, done that personally a lot of times, and it
Y
wasn't
luego
verde.
se quebró el toilet.
Yeah, it wasn't verde. It was brown. Palo café. It was not a good time. And no, I'm sure Jaime has had it rough.
I mean, I've
Hey,
taken
so what's the story about that? Supposedly you had broken that toilet.
me.
Me,
No, Erasmo.
you know what? It's kind of crazy.
Sometimes,
You know,
like mentioning that, I'm like, it's crazy.
no, someone again. I am so damn famous in this city that I become like these urban legends of, yes, Erasmo broke a toilet and he didn't want to fix it. I'm going like, bitch. I mean, if I did, I can't remember. Send me the damn bill. But it was one of those many little stories that get made up about Erasmus type of situation. It's crazy, but I don't know if you've heard a lot of them out there, but let me tell you, there's more coming. I just get amazed and we're like, really? It comes with fame and good looks, something that y'all struggle with, except Jaime,
Uh,
definitely good looking candidate. Instead of being demoting Sauceda, BISD should have not renewed her contract. After all, she came from Dallas ISD as a rat. She's an Atkinson disciple and should leave BISD. We deserve better. Let me say, I've actually, I've actually seen Dora Sauceda's work ethic as I actually observed her work. Hard worker, probably the most hardworking AA that was on there. I'll say that. And again, I didn't want to rehash the Dallas thing. I didn't want to rehash the Atkinson thing. I think everyone needs an opportunity to separate themselves and to be on their own and to do their job. And again, I'm not going to bash her forever in regards to the Dallas situation. I want to be able to judge her from the work that I saw while I had direct contact with her at BISD. And she seemed like a very, very hard worker to me, always has portrayed herself as a hard worker to me. So that's all I can say about Dora. Again, more power to them. I hope her and Sandra, as they get to grieve as their case, or if need be, file a lawsuit, which doesn't benefit us all. but
Mm.
they've got the right to their court. Let me show you one of the things that I wanted to touch on before we left, guys. Is I don't know if y'all have heard about this, but they had an event here downtown. Oh, we're going to go to your question, Mateo. I promise, and we'll close with that question for Jaime. But they had an event downtown where they were offering these free wrestling matches or something. Del Blue Demon and del Demonio Azul. That's actually that's actually the best joke in the world, and I'll tell it to you later, Jaime, when we have coffee again. But they were having an event, and then was people. I mean, they didn't secure parking, so people were out there parking at private owned business parking spots. So what happens is all of a sudden, the towing company comes and picks up the vehicles. You know, and then now they're making a big old hoopla because the organizers of the event now they're pissed off that why are they charging us money because they took the cars? Well, because they parked illegally. You know, and they're complaining because they're going like, well, we're going to pay for the towing. We're like, well, that's what you should do, no? Anyone?
Were they in the parking like in private property?
Yeah, it was private parking lot.
I know they've been having issues, and I know they've been posting about what's it called, that Rancho towing company.
Mhm.
Yeah, that one.
Um, but huh?
But yeah, but if you've got the signs out there, don't park there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know?
yeah. It's you over sometimes you oversee it. It's just like the when you go park in the Greyhound in San Antonio. It literally just says for like packaging. It says Greyhound, but packaging only, and you just assume Greyhound. So I guess some people
Mm.
just oversaw it, or they just assumed that that parking was for them.
Yeah, just don't
But
park there.
it's a bummer. It's just they just have to foot the
What,
bill.
Mhm.
what really pisses me off? There's a solution, guys. You know, we have a parking garage
Yeah.
right here, a block and a half from my office. A block and a half from my
Was the
office.
event nearby there?
Yes. But you know why we can't? Do you know, Jaime, why we can't use the parking garage?
No.
Because it's jam packed with illegals.
You're killing me here, man.
You're killing me, Smalls.
I mean, I've seen it. I know where it's at, but I've never
Well, because they're jam packed with illegals.
like standing in there. Or...
Illegal? No, it's
That's
a
like
shelter.
the one of their hubs for
It's
Oh,
the
one of the
illegal
hubs for
aliens
illegals.
yeah.
They
processing
keep them
center.
there. They process them there. They got COVID
Mm.
illegals there, and then they give them a ticket and they ship them off throughout the country on buses. It's right next door,
Airplanes, sir.
Yeah.
Airplanes.
and airplanes.
Mm.
I've been flying lately, and both through Harlingen and Brownsville, and they're
Yeah.
practically like one third of the bus.
No te
The other
dije, bro.
airplanes.
Didn't I tell you?
There's a joke that I love that goes like whenever you ask the government to find a solution, they never choose the best, and they always just choose the most expensive one.
Yeah,
And I love that because that's exactly.
and that is true. Like literally, it's true. That's why what Trump was trying to do. Like, dude, why do you always got to choose the most expensive one? But
Mhm.
because it's their friends with the ones with the contracts, they're getting the contracts and they're all getting kickbacks.
Yeah, I mean the whole scam of the government is just how do you transfer money from the people's wallet to your own?
To your
That's
own.
100%, and that's what libertarians were warring against. Warring against that abuse of government. Thank
That's
you
why the
very
best way
much.
to get money is just get some government contracts.
Oh yeah. I mean it's the best. Also, the money doesn't cost them anything. I mean because they could either sell money to the Federal Reserve, right? Monetize that debt and then use it. So I mean we're getting taxed through inflation, right? So we're getting a secret tax, or just through normal tax collection, right? But the thing is that at the end of the day, the money costs them zero. I mean, when the government spends $1, it's completely different than when you spend $1 because you
Yeah.
actually have to work for.
You
the
can
money.
even do that with BASD and be a contractor to sell them the fertilizer,
Mhm.
even if you're the the maintenance supervisor. Or what was he?
The what?
Erasmo? You're not even paying attention, bro.
Not a bit. Good luck, Mr. Diaz. Not even a word of what y'all said.
Godly.
Mr. Diaz, on your
Attention.
future endeavors. The city gets $20 for every vehicle towed. Yeah, it's part of the scam, the deal that they have.
The
That's
scam.
ridiculous.
It's all
Uh,
a scam. everything.
Why, Jaime Diaz? Why should we vote for you, Jaime?
I mean, so the reason I think you should vote for me is because I think that both parties have failed in regards to bringing cohesion in this country. I mean, we're mad at each other. We're not necessarily getting anywhere. In general, I think it's neat because we actually do agree on the solutions, right? We disagree in regards to what the, or I mean, we agree in regards to the problems. We disagree in regards to what solutions actually are. And I mean, I think I can bring a very refreshing take to the Railroad Commission, and we definitely do need oil and gas in this country. One thing that I personally think that is very toxic is how, for example, Biden right now goes out and he says, we need to end the fossil fuels, or I'm going to be the president to end the fossil fuel sector, right? Yet all the while he complains that right now, as opposed to oil and gas companies reinvesting their money back into expanding production capacity, they're giving it back to their shareholders. And it's like, all right, President Biden, if if you want oil and gas companies to invest in back into their operations, why are you telling these companies that you want to end them? You know, it's like City of Brownsville tells me, Jaime, I want to end your tire recycling company. I mean, I'm not going to invest any money back into that company because I'm like, I could lose it any single day. And I mean,
I'm gonna try to save it somewhere else.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm going to buy more Bitcoin. I'm not going to, but the thing is that we have to be realistic in regards to what we put out there and just have honest discussions, right? And I think Biden has to stop saying that he's very anti oil and gas, because I mean that 100% goes back into the problem of why these companies don't want to invest back into their operations.
I'm
And
pretty sure all this is gonna end like in 2 years, whenever he's done with his 4 year, I guess, uh, what's it called? The 4 year,
yeah, his tenure, I don't know, whatever
yes,
his term,
term.
his term, his
Sorry,
term.
four
Yeah.
year term. And once we go back to, hopefully back to a Republican, all of this hopefully will go back.
Hey,
He's not gonna go back to
Sam,
the $2,
or a libertarian,
but
or a libertarian.
or
You have to
libertarian.
stay.
As far as president,
As far
yeah.
I mean,
As when we go back to the Republican and for
mhm.
whenever the term is on, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's not gonna go back to the $2 a gallon,
Yeah.
but it's gonna go hopefully less than the $4 or $5 it's right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not only that, right? It's also, I mean, Trump started off with a lot of money printing, right?
Yeah,
With bailing out Wall Street through at least quantitative easing. So, I mean, part of it is also on Trump's shoulders, right? This is not 100% Biden's fault,
yeah, yeah.
but yeah, at least that in particular, how Biden does speak about oil and gas is very toxic towards at least people in the industry, right? Because they, I mean,
It doesn't solve anything, but just pointing them out. It's like you gotta bust out some solutions.
yeah. I mean, you can't be seen as president. You can't. And but I don't know. So I mean, that's kind of why I've just promised to present a nuanced take in regards to issues. You know, I don't know everything I'm learning, and I think we just need more of that, right?
I I think you're amazing, Jaime.
Thank you, Erasmo. I hope I get your vote.
Jaime, how could you not? You're getting me two posters, one old one new one, and you're getting me a new shirt that I'm going to put next to this blue shirt. I, I mean, how many people out there? Look, and I think that you realize this when you run for office. You got all these people out there that are like butt kissers out there, you know. And once you're not successful, then they go like, screw that guy, right?
yeah.
But
It's funny how fast your phone stops ringing after you lose.
but with me, I actually went out there and approached you, and I said, hey man, échale ganas, thank you for running and everything
Mhm.
else. Hey bro, I kept your shirt, damn it.
No, I do appreciate that, Erasmo. I was surprised when I saw it when because you put a post up. I think in the airport, I was like, I can't believe he still has that shirt.
I do.
Uh,
I actually, it's one of the
He's
shirts
like,
that
not even I have that shirt.
it's actually one of the shirts that I always take on my trips. And I try to take at least one good picture. And sometimes I don't post because I'm like like chicks, I got to make sure that I take the right picture on it. If not, it's not going on my Facebook page.
it's not.
But
Take a picture like if I'm not looking.
yeah, I want I carry you around everywhere I go.
No, I really appreciate that, Erasmo. It means a whole lot.
No,
Yeah.
I appreciate you, bro, and I'm sincere when I'm saying this. That and when I talked to you and your grandparents that day that we met each other,
Mhm.
I truly believe what I said, and I'm very very glad that you're running for office. I think it's very important. You become a role model. and
Mhm.
and I think we need more positive role models for young folk out here, and let them know that, okay, guys, you can run for office as well. You have the right. You're a U.S. citizen. No, don't be part of the que te valga mentality. Be a part of the solution, and Jaime is part of the solution. Solutions out there, and again, I'm going to say what Wayne said. Congratulations on the grant that was received on entrepreneurship grant. Congratulations to my nephew William. Este,
Mhm.
great job. There's hope.
No,
On the
Uh,
bottom of the posters, quick question. On the bottom of the posters from the Railroad Commission, are you gonna put Puro 956?
I mean we're open to suggestions.
We're open to suggestions.
I was thinking like candidato de 10, something like puro 956 might be
puro taquach or anti taquach.
anti tlacuache.
Yeah, I
No,
want
let's see Kemo cut.
credit. I want credit for all those. Guys, have a great. Thanks, Simon, for being on. You're amazing, bro, and you're welcome to come back on anytime you want. We do things a little bit different around here, but hopefully, more individuals will start to reach out to you and ask you more about your platform and stuff. That's what we hope. Guys,
Mhm.
please continue to reach out to candidates, ask them questions, guys, and hold them accountable. Every single one of us that has, put their name in the hat, name in the ring to go out there and represent you, should be willing to answer any and all questions that you may have. You are ultimately who we serve and who we want to serve. Thanks, Jaime, and God bless, man. And come back anytime. And you just let me know, bro. Open invitation, bro.
No, thank
Uh,
you, Erasmo.
guys, tomorrow morning, early in the morning, we will be discussing. God, crap! What the hell am I going to be discussing? Going to be discussing the situation with the AAs at the BIZ. We'll also be discussing the situation with the money that the city of Brownsville gave to the Midi Cultural District again. Again, guys, it's always the same money going back and forth, back and forth. They are now going to be paying for Brian Martinez's salary. You know, so as much as people may want to go out there and say, "Oh, well, the city of Brownsville is not paying anything," to Brian Martinez. All of a sudden, Brian Martinez has a nice, hefty little paycheck out there. And yes, I know that people are going to say, "Well, it didn't go directly to his paycheck; it went to operational costs." It's the same thing. Same thing. Because what happens is you get to free other money in order to make sure that you can give them a hefty paycheck. So it's the
Va
same.
junto con pegado.
Yes, so we're going to discuss. We're going. Yeah, it's frustrating because they do it so blatantly here in the city of Brownsville. It's disgusting. But again, I'm still waiting for my open records request. Have not received it. I'm going to check on how many days it's been. Guys, tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock in the morning, we will be discussing the Brian Martinez money. We will be discussing the AA situation. So we'll find out what schools these AAs are going, and we'll find out if Rose Longoria is going to go to Ortiz or not. Speculation, we don't know, but hopefully we'll have some answers tomorrow in regards
Did
to.
you ever get that call from that other guy from that
No,
e-commerce?
no, the guy never called me, and he's a friend of Jaime. He took a picture with him, and and look, and I'll say this: Jaime and I had a private conversation today, and I'm going to spill the beans. What I said, I told Jaime. I won't tell you what Jaime said, but I told Jaime, and Jaime will verify. I told Jaime, I like Josh Mejia.
Mhm.
I like Josh Mejia, and this is exactly what I told him. And I said it to him in private. And I'll say it right now, I
Mhm.
like Josh Mejia. I don't know why all of a sudden Josh Mejia became. And look, and again, he's going for greener pastures. Anything is better right now than the city of Brownsville because it's such a screw up right now, such a mess. Everyone's jumping ship. Everyone's getting off this sucker. And I don't blame them, bro, to a certain point. And I even mentioned this to Jaime. I don't blame him for jumping
Mhm.
ship at this point in time, as screwed up as it is right now. I'd be doing the same thing. But you're stuck with me because I'm the most handsome politician here in the city of Brownsville. But tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock in the morning, we'll be discussing the Brian Martinez money. We'll be discussing BISD, everything other that we just didn't have time. We need these 2-3 hour shows. I'm sure as hell not going to do them.
Mhm.
Not so. Watch tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Like that page before you leave on YouTube. Damn it, and keep on sending damn donations. I don't get any food anymore. And I don't get any chips and snacks, guys. So keep on sending me stuff. I appreciate it. Guys, have a great
Pero
evening.
mijito estaba en Puerto Vallarta.
You see my picture cuando estoy tirado en la playa?
Sí.
Guys, have a great evening. Social distance, face covering, hand sanitizer. You're still believing all that crap. I am done. But guys, tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, be here, guys. Be good to each other. Continue to be good to me. God bless.
God bless.
But